Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more FIFA 20 career mode. Here today on the channel, we're back on our Manchester United career on FIFA's Realism mod. This is episode 21 and the first episode of season 2. We have a brand new season, a brand new kit and sponsor. So guys, if you want to see more episodes of the Man United career mode and you're excited for season 2, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on, let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions for the series and players you would like me to sign. Let me know if you'd like to see season 3. So we're bringing Manchester United back to winning ways. We're using the Realism mod. We've got some fantasy kits there as well. Chevrolet has been dropped as the main sponsor, and Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is helping us out, which is really cool to see. So all of the Premier League teams have new season kits as well. So the main objective of this season here is to try and win as much silverware as possible on ultimate difficulty. We narrowly won the title by a point last year, which was insane. We have Champions League football this season as well, and we obviously failed in the cup runs last time. To be honest, like last season, we cut it way too close. If Liverpool didn't draw to Chelsea, and I was looking so wavering against the bottom sort of sides, they're drawing left, right and centre. So we won the Europa League, we won the Premier League. It's time to continue to rebuild United and try and get as many points as possible. So I've had a look at the squad from last season, and to be honest, we're still very light in on our second team. My first starting 11 I'm really happy with, but last year we struggled with squad depth. We didn't even get rid of all the dead wood from last team, and we need a second team if we're going to rotate the squad heavily enough. We've still got Andreas Pereira still here, who's only just leaving this season. We did have £200,000, which a lot of it went to Sancho. But the thing is, right, realistically, when you start a United career mode, Liverpool and Man City are still like 300 to 200 million pounds of investment ahead, and they have two basically transfer windows on us. So we are playing catch up at the end of the day, and we only won it by a point last season. We weren't convincing, but here is the squad, here is the new kit. So this season I'm looking for a left winger, a striker, a central midfielder / defensive, a left back, a centre back, maybe even a new right back as well, mostly for the second team. This season I'm going to try and strengthen from my position like Sir Alex Ferguson, and we're going to try and go for the Premier League title again. Man City won the Champions League last year, so the European champions are going to be in the Premier League. Henderson's now coming back. Smalling's been put on a transfer list along with Rojo. And I'll basically go through the first 20 minutes of this video trying to sign up as many players as possible. Newcastle, Burnley got relegated, and we're going to be looking through the transfer list as well. Although we have £300 million, which is quite a lot, but realistically we do need probably 6 new players to get that starting 11, because we haven't even got a full second team just to rotate in the cups. Let me know in the comments, guys. Should I sort of forgo the FA and the Carabao Cup? Should I really focus on the Premier League and the Champions League the most? I think that's what I need to do, to be perfectly honest, because look, cup-wise last year we did face Liverpool and had a couple of iffy fixtures, but Spurs won the FA Cup and the Carabao as well. Borthwick Jackson can be loaned out, we can we can get rid of some of the youngers as well. Pereira, the goalkeeper, O'Hara as well. But let's get stuck into some transfers. We've actually received a huge offer here for Wan-Bissaka for 57 million. Arsenal launched an 80 million pound bid. Look, if Madrid absolutely sort of double his evaluation, I might be interested. So 73 million, they rejected. So here is the start of the new season, July 2020. We've obviously got the friendly season. We've got a Super Cup fixture against Man City coming up. So we've been drawn against them. Yeah, because we won the league and they won the... Oh, no, we won the Europa League. That's why that's done that. It's a Manchester derby in the Super Cup, which is crazy. Looking at the Prem, Preston, Leeds, and Birmingham City got promoted. That's insane. Obviously, Burnley. It was Burnley, Aston Villa, and Newcastle getting relegated. And we have the Community Shield against Jose. So we've already lost a cup final. So very early on in this episode, we've got 2 cup matches to win some silverware. So I'm actually going to have a look at Newcastle squad. Newcastle have a lot of good quiet players, but now that they've been relegated, I probably can get a couple of them on a cut fee. I think St. Maximin is probably the one to go for. And anyone from Burnley, probably Tarkowski is a decent centre-back. So let's negotiate now for St. Maximin. Now, normally I wouldn't go after him if Newcastle was still in the Premier League. But however, for 26 million, he doesn't want to play in the Championship. We'll try and get this transfer done. Also, I can't recommend looking at transfer listed players enough. Milik has 12 months left on his contract. And Napoli have still transfer listed him, along with Juventus with Regani and a couple of others. And there should be, Zilanisk here as well. 26 years of age, 2 Polish players not happy with their life in Napoli. Huge potential. They're worth 30 to 40 million. If we can get them on a cut fee. Also, Dem Rebe, the German central midfielder. We could maybe go for him instead. Albion Yeti, that's a really good career mode player there. I don't think we could probably crowbar him into the squad. There's no way I'm buying Mendy. Dominic Calvert-Lewin there has been transfer listed. Isaac Success, I thought he was a bit more. Chowdhury, not too bad of a midfielder. So these players either are not favoured by either their Premier League club, they're unhappy. He was a former Atalanta player. Ross Barkley's been transfer listed as well. I don't think we need an attacking-minded player overly. So we're currently negotiating with Napoli. We've launched a £27 million bid, and it looks like Milik is going to be joining on a cut fee. 12 months left on his contract. He's worth $40 million as a replacement for Igalo, who has ended his loan. He's gone back to China. There's no way we're signing him. He could be a different sort of striker instead of Greenwood. Now, midfield-wise, I ideally would like someone like Ndombele. However, you'd have to pay like 60 million for him. I'm going to go for Zilanisk. I can't even say his name properly. I need to learn it. But we've launched a bid there for him to Napoli, and they've accepted 24 million, which is absolutely insane. Looks like Milik's going to be joining as well. Napoli are having a fire sale. Maybe because they don't have Premier League football. I don't know. We also need a left back. Now, Klosterman is an interesting player because he can play right back, left back, and right wing. And that's where he probably will be playing. So we're going to launch a £30 million bid for Klosterman. And it's been accepted. So his wages are only going to be 60k a week. So the first major signing of the Manchester United career mode to officially go through is Lukas Klosterman. He's worth 32. We've signed him for 30. The German international from Rasenball Leipzig. He's going to add some competition on the left-hand side for David Alaba, and added some needed rotation in the second team. He's going to play a lot in the Carabao and Carling Cup, because that's the thing. I think I really just need to forego the cups and focus on the Premier League and the Champions League more. Let me know in the comments. Now, we do need a backup centre-back as well, because Rojo's going to be leaving. Smalling's now 31, and Eric Bailly hasn't been convincingly. So we've got 3 options here. I think we should go for Ruben Diaz. We're rating, of course, Benfica again. Now, I personally prefer Lindelof. However, he gives us that third choice replacement just in case Maguire isn't up to snuff, and he's a little bit more unpolished than Maguire. So we've launched a bid for 38 million, and Ruben Diaz has joined us. He's worth 44. So we really could line up with Sporting's backline. Just in case we get an injury to our captain, I think it'd be a Ruben Diaz-Lindelof pairing, or a Maguire-Lindelof pairing. 6'2", a huge potential, a Portuguese international. We've got a lot of Spanish speakers and Portuguese players coming into the mix. So we've signed Ruben Diaz there for just shy of £44 million, which is the valuation, and he's got a huge potential, which is fantastic. Newcastle have come back with a counter offer from St. Maximin. They want to try and get as much from us as possible, but how fantastic is their second kit? But we've managed to negotiate here with Stevie Bruce. How's your bacon, did you say? And it looks like we're going to get Saint Maximin for slightly cheaper, £28 million. I'll take that. He's essentially going to be the Martial replacement who can play on that left-hand side. He's probably better than Martial in career mode because he can actually play on that left now properly, ideally. So we're going to go for Zil-in-Isk. I need to say it slowly, properly. But for £24 million, he's worth 33. He realistically probably should be worth 40. He's a central midfielder on a very, very cheap transfer. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're basically building players that are transfer listed. They want a new club. They want a new challenge. And they're not going to be too upset playing basically Champions League fixtures, which are all said and done, and cup matches. That's ideally. They're not going to break into the first team. So really, these 6 players that I identified are going to be building my second team. I've also gone out and signed Milik, which I think is a really great signing. We've got a couple of Poles joining the club for 26 million, 6'1". He's a left-footed striker. He's got fantastic finishing and positioning. He's a little bit slower, but he adds that little bit of extra dynamism going forward and can slow things down more or less as a target man. So 2 transfers here for my main left backs. Chelsea launch a £25 million bid for David Alaba. I like David Alaba, incredibly functional. There was no way we could have spent 60 to 50 million on a left back last season. We got him for 25. However, I am interested in offers for around about 40 million for him, because then we can reinvest into the squad. Luke Shaw as well I like, but I wouldn't accept anything less than £46 million. And Napoli and both Chelsea get those transfers declined. Now, I do need a third choice centre-back, as it looks like Smalling and Bay are going to be leaving the club. I would have actually gone for Lascelles if he actually stayed at Newcastle United. However, he moved to Wolfsburg, which was interesting last season. So we're going to be able to pick him up on a really cheap contract here for £10 million. Lascelles, the former Newcastle captain, coming in from Wolfsburg. He's worth 18. And we've picked him up for 11 there, and he's going to be a really good career mode player. Only 79 rated, has a potential between 82 to 83, and importantly, he's 26 years of age, so he still has 5 years on Smalling there. He's got really good leadership qualities as well. So this is the official squad I'm going to be playing with this season. A 4-3-3 attack. Sancho, Rashford, Oyarzabal on the right. Fernandes, Pogba, Ndidi in the midfield. Wan-Bissaka at right back. David Alaba on the left. Maguire, Lindelof. And here are my substitutions. Milik, St. Maximin, Bernardeschi, Zil-in-Isk, Klosterman, and Diaz and Henderson on the bench. That's my ideal substitution. Maximin off the left can go central. Milik, the main striker. Bernardeschi can go right side. Grealish, Lascelles, James, Rojo in the first line of reserves, ready to rotate. And I'll show you my second team as well. Longstaff, Bailey, Tuanzebe and Smalling there, Luke Shaw and a couple of others. And we got some more youngsters on the way as well. Williams has shot up to a 77 overall as a left back, which is really good. So he's eventually going to be able to replace Luke Shaw. So even if we get like, I don't know, 50, 45 million for Luke Shaw, Williams probably would be an adequate replacement. So here's the second team. So Greenwood, Grealish, James leading the line. Bernardeschi, McTominay, Longstaff, Klosterman, Lascelles, Diaz, Shaw, and David De Gea in goal. Actually, I want to change that to Dean Henderson. But this is going to be my second team, and I'm going to try and play them as consistently as possible. The weak link in there probably being Longstaff and maybe Dan James, but I kind of want to give him a little bit more game time. Oh, a huge offer here has come in from Arsenal for Ndidi. They've launched a bid for £70 million. Look, I like Ndidi. I bought him for 38, 40 million. He's now worth 70, which is crazy. I would only let him go for £100 million. Arsenal are a joke of a club and are not even rivaling me at all. So they don't even have European. They're in a Europa League qualifying match. So if they gave me 100 million, I probably could go and spend it on. Youth Academy wise, we've got a couple of potential players. Bartley we can look to bring in. Lewis Sweat as well. We're going to promote to the senior team. Leroy looks all right there as well. Blockhorn, who we got from the EA catalogue, can all be signed to the first team and loaned out. And we probably can release some of these youngsters as well that were signed under a previous regime with no face, because if I've been perfectly honest, we're probably not going to be able to use too many of them. I've been kind of disappointed in the Youth Academy. Well, look, it needed to be more hands-on. I didn't want to commit to it, and we weren't sort of lucky either in the transfer department. Yeah, the crop of players we got from Australia and the United States wasn't necessarily good enough. So we're going to recall my scouts, and we're going to send it to Brazil and Germany. Riley here looks like a good goalkeeper, though. Our last crop of Australian players, we're going to be able to sign Riley, who has a really good potential goalkeeper, but Hoffman and a couple of others can realistically be released. They're just too lowly rated. Riley has a potential of 87. He's 6'1". He could be a little bit taller as a goalkeeper. So Chelsea have made the signing of Smalling for £11 million. So even though he's 81 rated, he's 31, and we've brought in Lascelles as a replacement, because even though we sold Martin, we're essentially replacing Marta, Matic, Pereira, Fred. So we really had to rebuild our second team, which is crazy. Now, looking at Smalling here, here's the new kid as well for Chelsea. Doesn't have the numerical number 3, just has the written word, which is quite cool. Okay, I'm still proactively looking at transfer listed, because I can't recommend this enough, especially on the Realism mod. When players are unhappy, they get transfer listed for the club when they want a new challenge, and it's always good looking for potential players. Now, Mario here, central midfielder, 25 years of age, got to the Europa League final. Batshuayi, if we needed someone like that, that'd be useful. Same with Ross Barkley. Holla as well. However, I've seen Bakayoko, 25 years of age, £22 million. He's 6'2", a French international. Chelsea don't want him. He came back from his loan at Monaco, and they don't want to have him in the first team. So we'll shortlist Bakayoko. Now, looking at this second team, the main weakness we have is Longstaff. He's only 76 rated. And if you guys can remember, technically he's not our player. We signed him on loan for a 2-year deal from Newcastle. So, if this Bakayoko deal goes through, I'm actually going to terminate Longstaff's loan. Because like a Declan Rice would cost 50 to 60 mil. I reckon we can get Bakayoko here for a tremendous fee. Like, he's going to be really, really cheap. You forget that he was a Monaco Champions League. Like, he had that really good Champions League run with Monaco. And he wasn't the most convincing player at Chelsea. However, will he do fair in the second team of United? Like, career mode-wise, he's got a solid overall rating and a decent future. But for £60 million for Bakayoko, it looks like that deal could go through. Liverpool launches £17 million bid for Ndidi, but there's no way in hell I'm selling him to my major rival. So he's worth 22. We need a central defensive midfielder, and it's an unlikely signing in real life, but for an amazing cut fee, Bakayoko has signed, and we can terminate Longstaff's loan and not pay his wages. My scouts are available. Let's send them to Germany and Brazil. But for £16 million, a quality player like Bakayoko, 32 overall. I think that's insane. For £16 million. £16 million? Absolutely bonkers. We played more for Zilanishk, who's the same rating. Looking at my contracts as well, we do need to keep an eye on them. I'm actually happy for all of them to expire, except for the Paul Pogba deal. So we'll try and get Paul Pogba on a new contract there. I kind of low-key like the Amazon sponsorship in the middle. It's cool. It's different. They're doing those documentaries and TV deals, so why wouldn't they sponsor a football team? Now, I'm going to go back to live commentary now. I've done a bunch of transfer negotiations, because they sometimes, like, I reckon I spent probably like an hour arming and ahhing over transfer negotiations and just skipping through the cinematics. So there are the transfers so far, just before the first match of the season, where we face Spurs in the Community Shield. So for all my games this season, just like the last, we're going to be doing live commentary. So I'll see you guys in a second. And we're live. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to live commentary. Welcome to the first match of today's episode where we face Jose Mourinho's Spurs in the Community Shield. It's going to be an exciting one. So looking at the top transfers here, Mane's joined Real Madrid for 130 million. Insane. Laporte's joined Barcelona. Diaz there as well. I'm super happy with the transfers I've made. We're going back to live commentary now for the rest of the video in the series. I just wanted to get those transfers done and out of the way in post, because last season we spent a long time doing transfer negotiations. So if you want to see that in a little bit more in depth, you can. But I just thought it'd be better to edit that sort of stuff. Transfers wise, I'm curious to have a look around world football to see if anything's changed. Mostly we're birding outside. Oh, okay. Pack and Sia joined Arsenal from Frankfurt. That's a really good signing. Nastasic to Valencia. Oh, Visca's joined Roma. Witzel to Inter. Mustafi to Bournemouth. Daley Blind to Rasenball Leipzig. Cher to AS Monaco. So not only did myself sign a fair few Newcastle players, they did as well. So what have we got coming up? Okay, so looking at the calendar, so we've got the FA Community Shield, which is so interesting as Spurs beat us at Wembley last season and they won the Carabao and FA Cup. Like, Spurs as a cup final side under Mourinho are really good. But we have the Manchester Derby in the first match of the season, and then we face them midweek in the Super Cup. Crazy first episode as well. The main objective of this is to try and win the Premier League again. As long as I make top 4, I'm happy, to be perfectly honest. I'm really happy with my acquisitions and signing into this second team. Like, for £60 million for a player like a Bakayoko, obviously Premier League proven. It really reminds me of the one Mata deal. I think I really should neglect the Cups and the Carabao. Like, I want to try and focus on the Champions League. I really want to focus on the Premier League. So if I make top 4, I'll be happy. If we have a decent cup run, like last year our squad just really couldn't perform against the bottom to lower league sides. It's seriously eerily similar to real life. So I'm really happy with this squad now. 4-3-3, you've seen it. And the substitutions. Let's get stuck into Jose Mourinho's Spurs at Wembley. It's going to be an absolute cracker. So here are the kits. So here's our home kits. I kind of like the off-red. The alternate's a nice sort of blue. I'm not a big fan of the away kit. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to use the alternate as my away kit more than anything. The away looks like Australia has taken over the club. Or maybe I should do that on Australia Day. It's in January, so... Oh, yeah, January transfer window. If there's a game on Australia Day, we'll do that. Here are Spurs' new kits as well. But I love this so much. So I could have played another season with last year's kit, but I'm probably only going to do one more season. Season 2. I don't know. Depends on your guys' support and feedback. Let me know in the comments, because regardless of what I win this season, I would definitely win Season 3 probably everything. Like, I'm pushing this squad to the absolute limit now. And whatever happens this season, I think I might just do Season 2. I don't know. I haven't decided just yet. It just depends. I want to try and get Champions League football. If I was to predict me now focusing more on the Champions League, I'm probably going to finish 2nd or 3rd. Like, last year was so close. We probably should have lost. Like, if Chelsea didn't draw with Liverpool on that 2nd to 3rd last day of the season, I could have very well lost. We struggled to beat the poor and lower league oppositions. And now without a striker of the quality of a Gallo, going back to China now, we're going to struggle. But here are Spurs lining up with their new kit. So I'm using a fantasy kit mod now. Last year we had a kit mod earlier in Season 1, which had the, of course, new season kits, but now we're using a fantasy kit mod. So I think I can't find any more kit mods, but yeah, it's kind of cool that we've got a new one for the new season. A new kit, a new sponsor. This is what career mode should be. Okay, so let's have a look at Spurs' squad. Lloris, Hines at right back, Carter Vickers. Oh wow, are they not going for this? Oh, they aren't as well. Why? This is crazy. As Jose, like, low-key balled me here. They have not played their first team. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. Wow, they've fully rotated their squad. Obviously, they don't have Harry Kane, but no Mora, no Lamella. He is treating this as a friendly, essentially. So we'll try and build something up here. But the first match of the season, the first match of the recording session. Obviously, the first team hasn't overly changed too much from last season. But Spurs face last year's Premier League champions at Wembley. Fernandes. There's so much space here on the right with Oyarzabal holding up, waiting for space. Oh, come on. It's got to be a goal. Pogba makes it 1-0 just before the 8th there. I feel bad for this lowly rated, inexperienced Spurs side. And Paul Pogba celebrates with Jadon Sancho and David Alaba dubbing the dab. Held up well. No one's marking Pogs. I was ideally trying to maybe slip it to a Sanchez or something. Just got to fix the boom mic here, make it a little bit better for my liking. There we go. That's perfect, mate. And 1-0 up. Paul Pogba. Shout out to Amazon. 1-0. So if we can win the Community Shield, look, Community Shield Super Cup. I really don't pay too much attention for us, but it's always good to get that in the trophy cabinet, I guess. Well, if they were playing their second team like this, I could have very well played my second team if I'm being perfectly honest. Sancho there with a nice little follow-up. But you never know. This low-key youth team, we struggle against youth. I think like younger sides and teams with lower rate, I think they sit deep on me and I struggle to break down. When I play against top sides, they seem to push forward and it's counter-attack sort of back and forth. It probably gives me more counter-attacking opportunities. And Pogba's trying to slip Sancho there, but it's a good interception. But I feel like even though we signed a lot of players, we got some fantastic deals, we got some realistic signings, and we also got ones which are realistic to the career mode, as in like clubs don't want them, they've been transfer listed, and we've got them on a cut fee. Like I said, I can't recommend enough transfer listed players. We got some crazy deals on the Realism mod, which makes transfers harder. But Spurs are in here, and they've scored. It's 1-1 in the 23rd, and Jose Mourinho starting Spurs' second/youth team, and Amos there has scored a really good goal. I don't know, man. Maybe I need a new goalkeeper. Should Dave be saving that? Maybe. It's just this difficulty, though. And sometimes my defenders leak. Look, I still think that Lindelof, Maguire is enough to win the Premier League again. Champions League is obviously a different story there. Sancho, what are you doing, mate? Doing keepy uppies in the box. That was not the skill move I wanted to do. Pogba there. Back to Ndidi. I like Ndidi, but for 100 million to like an Arsenal who's not a direct rival, off the post there would be a good signing. Same with David Alaba. Like, I am willing to sell my best players if I need to. Like, if someone put a £200 million bid in for Pogba, I'll probably accept it, because it'd let me rebuild the squad. I don't want to be signing the Ronaldos and Messis and stuff of the world, but I want to try and get decent money for my players. But Champions League football, I seriously can't wait for it. If we get an easy group, we'll probably get out of it. But I do fear. The thing is, like, we can get like a really tough round of 16 fixture and not look good. Trying to build up here against Spurs. They're sitting back with a low block. Oh, Fernandes. They've also got Lloris in goal, so it's a little bit deceiving. So even if we do break their defence, we can go through. Same with Wan-Bissaka. Like, I'd never sell him to Liverpool. Maybe they're looking to move Trent on, I don't know. But for potentially like 80 million to Arsenal, or like 80 million to Madrid, I could very well accept it. Because, look, I like Wan-Bissaka in real life, but in last season, Look, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't overly convinced with my fullbacks. But David Alaba for 25 million. I don't blame him. He did the exact role that I wanted him to do for that price. Squad rotational player. Can play all over the pitch. Rashford now. Oh, trying to drag it across the left from Lloris, but it wasn't to be. 1-1 at the moment, going into half-time against Spurs. We should be doing a lot better against a squad of this caliber. But ironically, Jose Mourinho, we are just a little horse. We are a little horse in this competition against the big, the brutal Manchester United. That's what he's done. He's actually put his second team. Because he played the first team and tried to come out attacking, even though he probably should be because he is the FA Cup winner. It just happened to be that we won the Premier League. That's why we drew against them. Oh, that's not bad from Ndidi, but we can't get the final pass off. Rashford now at the edge of the box. He's done too much. They're really closing me down here, and it looks like they're going to try and maybe drag this one to penalties. But I feel super bad for Liverpool and Man City this last year. Like, we beat them. We beat Man City twice and Liverpool, and they still only... Oh, they go again here, and they've scored. I don't believe this, man. Parrott with a phenomenal free kick. Not free kick. A sort of... Yeah, it's nearly a free kick. It's like 30 yards out. How is Parrott pulling something like that off? 2-1. How are we down to this squad, man? Come on, United. This is embarrassing. We just need to get a ball in. Alaba. Oh, he's offside, like, massively. Might have to do some substitutions soon. But I'll evaluate all the new signings probably halfway through the season. I reckon a lot of them we can sell on, make our money back if we need to, if they're, like, atrociously bad. Like, you never know. You can only look into someone like Milik so much. The former Ajax club player, and obviously he's Syria proven, but so's like Ruben Neves. What? Ruben Neves. Bruno Fernandes. I can't even... Sancho. Ruben Neves. He'd be a good player, but we don't need him, mate. Bruno. Man, how are they keeping the ball so well here? I don't believe this. Spurs are actually like a huge bogey side in the cup for me. And this could very well be Jose Mourinho's third trophy within 12 months. The storyline seriously doesn't miss the irony on me. And I don't know what's going on here. We can't even slip a through ball in. Fernandes is exhausted. So we've got a couple of options. I'm going to bring on St. Maximin. Who do I need to sort of salvage this? Bernadeschi in the cam. And I think Zil... Oh, it's not Zil, is it? Zilinisk. Zilinisk. I don't know why I struggle with Zeal so much. So we'll bring him on for Pogs because he seems a bit knackered. So we're giving 3 players their debut. I think we need to keep someone like Marcus Rashford on, in my opinion. So we've rotated the squad. It's time to go. Can someone like St. Maximin... That's a good shot, strike there. But you never know, Napoli might have transferred these transfer listed these players for a reason. If they throw their toys out the pram quickly, they're not committed. They're sort of selfish there. David Alaba trying to bring something out from the back. Zilanishk. Okay, so he's already been tackled off the ball, and they're... Oh, it's Dele Alli. Okay. Okay. I think they beat me 2-1 at Wembley last time as well. Also, Spurs have that advantage because they played a season at Wembley. Oh, come on. Like, I can't even get an incisive pass into midfield. I don't believe this, though. If it was against a full Spurs squad, I'd expect it, but far out, it's embarrassing. It's just not our day. Oh! Okay, let's counter-attack. Let's go. Rashford. Trying to find St. Maximin. Who finds Alaba. Back to St. Maximin. Rashford. Come on. Losing possession so easily. St. Maximin puts a tackle in. But now with a team around him, St. Maximin should be able to perform a lot better in an overall season. Oyarzabal. Oh, the football we're playing is not very good, eh? Yeah. No one came up for that. And that's it. Jose Mourinho has done the double over us. Look, I wanted to win the Community Shield. Far out. It's always a good piece of silverware to win. How are we going to beat Man City on the opening day? Or the UEFA Super Cup? I'm not even going to watch that. I can't stomach that. Far out. 6 shots, 5 on target, 4-3. They were some really good goals, though. Pogba started off so well. We scored the first goal. And then the momentum massively swung against us. So what happened here? Yeah, so all my players went off it, and Dave probably didn't cover it properly. And this Parrott goal was ridiculous. That went in. Lindelof really should be covering that a bit better, but also Dave should be saving it as well. Oh well, 2-1. Far out, mate. Not good. Not happy, Jan. Not happy. Okay, Rojo's been sold to Spurs for $5 million. And a £63 million bid for Pogba's come in. I'm going to reject that offer. Yeah, we're going to be rivaling with Chelsea. They finished top 4 last season. And we're coming into the match against Man City. And Augsburg want Tuanzebe. I'm going to reject that because I can probably use him this season. Okay, well, welcome to the first match of the Premier League season. Which is kind of weird playing the first match of the Premier League season before the Super Cup. Is it just me or is it not? So what do we focus on? Man City in the league or Man City in the Super Cup? Because that's realistically what we're going to have to do. I'm curious to see who plays in what. So is the first team... Like, this is not enough to do Man City because they're going to play their starting 11. I've got to play this team, don't I? Now, just looking at that last match, I can't afford for the same thing to happen. Do I bring on Diaz instead? Pace is different. Shooting, passing, dribbling. However, defending and physical. But the thing is, right, with Man City, they're going to be rapid. They're going to be quick in behind. That's the choice I've got to make. Bringing out from the back would be quicker. They're not going to be closing down as quickly as Liverpool. Look, if Lindelof has a woeful performance in the Manchester derby coming up, we're going to have to play... Look, actually, in a second thing, we're actually going to have to play our second team in the Cup, in the Super Cup anyway, against them. But let's get stuck into the Manchester derby. In the first match of the season, man, I just don't like this already. We're coming off a 2-1 loss against Mourinho's B team. And that is just crazy, if I do say. Well, let's get stuck into Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, the European champions we face here today. They finished third on 91 points or so. Imagine losing the Premier League on 90 points. Absolutely crazy, if I do say so myself. But let's get stuck into Manchester City. Look, Yeah, mate. Look, I can still get a world-class defender, but I don't particularly want to on it. I want to trust in Diaz. I want to trust in Lindelof and Maguire. But maybe we just need to get someone like a Varane in, or maybe a Marquinhos. I don't know. But only time will tell. The thing is, right, we won 4 last year. We won twice against City and against Liverpool, and we only won by a point. So this could very much decide our season, this first match. It's crazy. So Man City are playing a 4-3-3. They're matching us, which is good. They have Edison in goal. João Cancelo at right back, Stones and Fernandinho. Even they still don't have a proper defensive line. Mendy's at left back. We could have brought him in, but there's no way I'm doing that. Bringing a Citizen in. Pfft, yuck. Never signing a City player or a Liverpool. Direct rivals. Arsenal, Chelsea, they're so far down in London. They're still playing David Silva, okay? Bernardo, Aguero, Sterling. Leroy Sané, obviously, joining Bayern Munich. But Man City have the kickoff. Manchester United face the blue side of Manchester, facing the Reds. Come on, United, let's go. Now, maybe even they put their foot off the gas when it was a 2-horse race towards the end, when they were focusing on the Champions League. Oh, that's a foul. What? How are they not going to give me that? And now everyone's sitting off. Far out. What a ball, though. From Victor Lindelof. Fernandez gets pushed in the back. Thank you very much for that, ref, because it was actually a poor ball in the end. Pogba. Indeedy. That should have been a better through ball to Rashford, please. Maybe I need to take my time a little bit more. I'm rushing it a bit, because I know how crucial these matches are. A Community Shield would have at least sweetened our season a bit. Pogba. I don't know what's going on with my passing. The AI interceptions are just insane. Sterling. Man City go aerially. Sancho takes it past João. Cancelo and are away. United on the break in the 20th. Looking to chop. Like, what? I was in front. You know, I meant to get like a speed boost. Not get clattered right in the back. Yeah, now go. Oh, look at that coverage, though. Oh, but that was to Pogba. Pogba was breaking massively. Come on, United. We've got to be doing better than this. I'm not going to lie. It's actually a miracle that we won the Premier League last year. There was like 3 episodes where like we didn't know if we were going to win it or not. But luckily we got a good draw against Atalanta in the Europa League. We had a massive build-up. But even that, we probably could have got knocked out against Bruges and stuff early on. I don't know. I've got massive self-doubt in this career. I'm a fraud. I've got imposter syndrome or whatever it's called. Trying to build up the ball well here. Come on, waiting for Wan-Bissaka to go on the overlap. I'm going to... Oh, wow. We just can't seem to pick a pass. Oh, Fernandez. Sancho. Shoots. He kept on going. Good pressure on for United. Maybe the Amazon curse has got us. Maguire wins the header, but it wasn't a good one in the end. A winning header by Alaba. Trying to find Oyarzabal, who cuts back. Pogba. I don't know what it is, man. Like, oh, here we go. Rashford's got to bang it. It's hit Stones. We've had 2 very good chances here, but we haven't made anything of substance. Ball comes in. We might be able to get the follow-up here with Bruno Fernandes, who's been fouled by Sterling. It's going to be a yellow for the England international. And I don't know if this type of ball is going to change too much. Nah, Rodri clearly intercepts. Will we get one last effort here before half time, maybe? Oh, good tackle in on Oyarzabal. And Man City look to clear out of danger. Maguire. Ndidi. Rashford turns his man. He's been fouled in the box. That's a pen! How is that not a penalty? Am I being robbed by the refs as well? That's ridiculous. That is one of the most blatant penalties I've seen. Now they're going to score here on the break. It's 30-year-old David Silva. Oh, he scuffed it. Thank God for that. Got way too close for Dave. He was looking... It looks like he went for a cross or a pass. Far out. United should be up here. But once again, we're playing better quality football when teams don't defend deep on us and allow the game to be opened up, which is super interesting from like a tactical perspective. We need just bullies if we can get them. Oh, great job there by Oyarzabal. Just couldn't get the final ball in. I was doing way too much there. Rashford comes out. I don't know, maybe it's the physicality in the squad? I don't actually know. Or maybe it's some tactics that are slightly off. I might need to look into it. Oh, but if we can get a good pass in, we're going to be away here. On the counter-attack. Manchester City have put way too many players forward. It's got to be David Alaba now. He shoots, he scores! It's David Alaba to score the first goal in Season 2 of the Manchester United career mode. Come on. Whew, in the Premier League. Yeah, he just had to go all the way there. I don't know why there were so many players on the left-hand side. David Alaba signing for £25 million last season. The Austrian international smashed it into the top left. I think in what was it? FIFA 11, 15? David Alaba could play cam, central midfield, left back, and maybe centre back or something crazy. And he gets like 94 rating, 90 rating. He was nearly like the best attacking midfielder in the game in one FIFA. That's what I remember. Come on, United. 1-0 away. Now, I'm going to change my substitutions when they come on. I might bring on someone like Diaz. I might rotate my defense depending on how exhausted they are. But it probably should be 1-1 for City. I do feel kind of bad. The ball comes in. It's a good header. And now we got a counter-attack. Fernandes. Yes, Ndidi to Sancho. And the Red Devils trying to get away with it here. Ndidi cuts back. Who finds Pogba. Oh, how is that not a goal? He drifted into the box so late. Oh, it's actually off target as well. Oh, no. Interesting header. But Man City have picked it out here. And Laporte went to... Yeah. So they had Laporte, but he ended up leaving and going to Barcelona. Oh, good tackle there by Sancho. Let's try and get away from it here. I don't know what's going on with their formation, but they've essentially just let Sancho go here. A lot of United players. Fernandes. Oh, good save by Edison. That should have gone in. Okay, let's make some substitutions here now. Let's bring on Bernardeschi. Let's switch things up, and I'm going to bring on Milik. Someone a bit physical, someone a bit aerial who can mix things up. And I could bring... where can St. Maximin play? Because I could bring off Oyarzabal and do that. Yeah. I think I'll do that and play Rashford off the right. But Milik is having his United debut. Bernardeschi. And, well, I guess St. Maximin for the Premier League as well. Oh, look how imperious he looks in the box. Yeah, someone like him might be able to get a decent header up on somewhere. Pogba Yeah, he's not going to be able to win that. Oh, he might be able to get it back here, though. St. Maximin with a poor pass. Bernardeschi waiting for follow-ups. What a ball from Bernardeschi. David Alaba getting sort of pinned down here a bit. He's going to bring it back to Ndidi. Milik. Oh, could have gone for a shot. It's Rashford. It's 2-0 in the Manchester United derby. Well, Manchester derby, not United derby, but it's a Manchester United derby because we win it all the damn time. I think there was nearly a little bit of too much passing there. Maximin, Milik. Yeah, it was... Oh, I like Milik. I could have gone with Milik because he was on his left foot there, but I just let Rashford spray it into the bottom right. It's snatch and grab here in the second half, and Rashford scores his first Manchester United goal for this season. Yeah, that's what it is. It's when teams defend deep on me and break because, look, we're playing on the same difficulty, but we're playing with a dramatic difference in opposition. This City squad's playing a 4-3-3 attack. We're matching them, and we're beating them 2-0. They're just opening up with us. That's what it is. It's us hitting them on the break. I do play a press system where I can and try and close down the opposition and try and win the ball. But because we lose possession so much, we tend to break on teams. So it's still like the counter-attack of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still, but it's also got a very high tempo press. But I ideally wanted to play this squad like Klopp's, but just due to this difficulty, I don't think it's necessarily viable because you just can't maintain possession all the time. Looking to go away here, it's bad. We potentially had time. But 2-0 in the Manchester derby, away at the Etihad, and that set us up for our season. That's given me a bit of hope back into this. 2-0 against Pep Guardiola. We've beaten him every single time we've faced him. But Mourinho, man, Spurs are a bogey side for this career. So unfortunately, on that note, it's time to end episode 21 here and finish the first episode of Season 2. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Looking at the calendar, we have, of course, the UEFA Super Cup against Man City. Then we got Southampton, Crystal Palace, Preston. I'm so surprised Preston got promoted. And same with Birmingham City. That's really cool. So looking at August, September, yeah, October is going to be a harder run of fixtures. But maybe get your predictions in the comment section down below because it's going to be super crazy and tough for this series. I don't actually know if the Champions League groups have been drawn. No, they haven't been announced just yet because there's still some more qualifying rounds. Look, you know what? We'll quickly just go to the start of this match. We're not really looking to bring anyone else in, but maybe if you see any glaring problems that I haven't seen, maybe you could let me know. But I think I'm sort of done. Nope, so there's still more playoff rounds to come to decide the group stage. So it's going to be interesting to see who we get drawn against. But stay tuned for episode 22 coming out tomorrow, where we face Man City in the UEFA Super Cup. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're not enjoying the series, feel free to leave a dislike. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box these days. To get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click subscribe, of course, and the bell to join the notification squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. If you guys want to get yourself some cheap and reliable games, maybe some PSN and Xbox codes to buy packs for Ultimate Team, or maybe just some games, I really do recommend checking out my affiliation link, G2A. There's some really good prices, so even just looking around, to be honest. Anyway, the Patreon Steam group there as well. Come and join the community on Steam. My name has been Simpzy. Stay tuned for more videos on the channel. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye. Mahrez whips it into the box. Royce! That is just ridiculous. With the layup, Marco Reus